Marietta, thank you so much for being with me today. And I've been looking forward to talking about your book with you because your Dewdrops of Wisdom, I just love. And it's channeled messages from Mother Mary, and the subtitle is Practical Guidance from Mother Mary. And that's exactly what I felt from this book, that first of all, the messages just emanate love. You feel yourself surrounded by love when you read it. And also things are just very practical and can be applied to our daily life. So I'm just curious for you, how did you start receiving these messages from Mary? How did that start for you?
Yeah, thank you, Patricia. Um, First of all, I would like to say that I have always had a deep relationship with Mother Mary since my early childhood. While at that time I was talking to her and I was praying to her, I regarded her as my mother, my heavenly mother. But I have never thought that I will hear her sound once. And 4 years ago, 2020 in summer, I was translating the first book of the Choose Only Love series by Sebastian Blacksley. And in the meantime, I felt the presence of Mother Mary, and she was very, very tender, and she completely grabbed me in her love. Light was emanating from her being all over, and literally I was overwhelmed by her love. I was very, very happy and surprised that I can feel like that. And it went on for some days without words. And then after some days, I heard her words too. And at the first time, she said very touching things to me. And she she gave me a present. She said like this, that I would like to give you a present. And she said that imagine a heart locket, and which you can open and you can hide anything in it. And I give you a message, and you can hide it in. And this message was, I love you. It was very touching. And she said that I should put this heart locket in my heart and know that she's always there with me. And whenever I need it, I just take it out, open it, and then I should be aware that she's always there and she loves me very, very much. And of course, I was very touched by her words and by her whole presence. So I tried to be with her a lot of times. And step by step, I could hear more from her words. And I started to write down as messages. They were personal messages or conversations at the first times. I had plenty of questions, of course, and she answered to me to these questions. And she was very loving and very beautiful at the same time. I felt her as a beautiful lady as well, and a very, very tender mother. And right at that time, I started to feel the presence of Jesus as well. And with him also, I had some conversations, and still I have. And at the end of August, Mother Mary said that it's time to start our common work. And at that time, we started to write the books. And now we are writing the sixth book with Mother Mary. And we have a lot of personal conversations with each other. And well, she's just here with me all the time. At the beginning, I couldn't really feel her all the time. just when I was in a meditative state, or I was calm, or I was at home. But later, everywhere I could feel her presence, and I could stay more in her presence because it's a very high frequency. And at the beginning, I was very tired after a little time. And so now I can feel her everywhere with me and around me.
Mm. Yeah, I hear that from so many people who are receiving these messages that the frequency is very high and it can be very tiring for the body because,
Yeah,
the human body isn't adapted yet to that, but over time you begin to adapt,
yeah, yes.
right? And over time it becomes less exhausting. And I'm curious because, well, we're connecting. I'm in Philadelphia. You're in Budapest, Hungary. And it's a miracle, first of all, that we can even connect like
Yeah.
this in real time. But I'm curious, since Hungarian is your first language, when Mary is communicating with you and with this book, did it first come through in Hungarian and then English? Is that how that worked? Or how did it work just with the languages?
Yes. I write everything in Hungarian,
Mhm.
and I think, this is a kind of universal language, and which we use, and we all, I mean, who can write messages, we all translate it into our own language, I think, or I feel it like this. So sometimes I don't hear words, not only words, but sometimes I feel a kind of energy, or like an energy pocket in my heart, and I unfold it, and I just put it down on my own language. And after that, I translated them with the help of some friends. So that's how you can read it. So I'm just very happy that there are so many generous and helpful people around me who can help me in this process.
Mhm. Yeah. So you receive what you call an energy packet. So that comes just immediately, instantly, like,
Yeah.
and it's just delivered like into your heart. And then you sort of, it's like a present that you open and you
Yes.
take out what's inside of it and you allow it to come into language. I'm curious, do these energy packets or these messages come at a particular time when you are like sitting down and ready, or do they come at any time during your day, sort of unexpectedly?
Well, they can come anytime actually, but it's just okay if I don't write them at that time. So it's okay if I write them later. I feel it. Mostly we write the messages in the morning because I have a quiet time in the morning, early morning. And very often I feel it the previous night that, wow, I have the package in my heart, and I will
Ah.
I will unfold it in the morning. So I feel it. And sometimes my life situations trigger something. So I have a question in connection with my life situation. And then Mother Mary answers immediately. And sometimes I write it down, sometimes not. It depends where I am and how is this. But when I need an answer, then it comes immediately. Yes.
Mhm. So you grew up in the Catholic Church,
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Greek Catholic Church, right?
Yes.
And so Mother Mary was part of your religious upbringing. Uh,
Yeah.
she,
Yes, deeply, deeply. Yes.
yeah, and I'm just aware of how different my experience was because I grew up in a Protestant denomination where there is virtually no feminine, you know, energy that's recognized. There's not really a connection with Mary. So I'm just aware that you were already prepared in a way. You already had this relationship since your childhood.
Yes.
And but you also told me when we've spoken previously, that there was another part of your past, of your life experience that prepared you to receive these messages, and that was when you started investigating esoteric studies. And how did that? How do you think that prepared you to be doing what you're doing now in receiving these messages?
Well, the time I spent in the Catholic Church deeply, that I think it was very important to that I had to make aware my bond with Mother Mary, because all of us have a very deep bond with her because she's our Heavenly Mother.
Mhm.
And uh, when I was a very, very little child as well, that it was just very obvious that she is our Heavenly Mother, you know? And we turned to her, we prayed to her. I prayed the chaplet, for example, every night with my mother before going to sleep. And we went to a pilgrimage place, yeah. Um, and it was very obvious that she is there in our life and she can help us. She is there with us and she is our Heavenly Mother. So it was very, very important. And the the time I spent with esoteric studies, it helped me to open myself to to receive the messages, to be able to hear the words of Mother Mary, and to open myself enough to that to this possibility, you know,
Mhm.
because earlier I didn't think it was possible, and it helped me a lot to open myself.
I'm aware also that Mary is more present with us. She's coming through people. Sebastian, as you mentioned before, his Choose Only Love series. He's also now coming out with some books from Mother Mary as well. And so there is presently this rise of the feminine, and Mary really coming into the center of things for us. Do you have any sense from her of why now is the time for humanity to be opening to her presence more and more?
I think just we are more open for all these what is coming now.
Mhm.
And Mother Mary said me many times. She said that she loves humanity very, very much, and she loves all of us very much, and she wants to be closer and closer to us. She's always looking for ways to us to have a deeper communication, because she um, she's having a bond with each of us, but we are simply not aware of this. So we just have to be aware of this. And she also said that she's a mirror, and she would like us to see how beautiful souls we are.
Mhm.
So I think that this time is just perfect for receiving her messages, and to make this connection with her more alive, if I can say that,
Mhm.
or just to make it conscious. And, we have a Divine Mother, and we are in a deep love and loving bond with her.
Mm, yes. As I mentioned before, that the I found these messages to be both profound and practical. And I want to just read a passage. I have so many passages in this book marked, but there's I'm going to read one just as an example of why I love this book so much. And this is from the chapter "The World Revolves Around Love."
Mhm.
And she says, "You are accustomed to the fact that when you discover an undesirable trait in yourself, You devote all your strength to getting rid of it. That is what you are used to doing, what you were taught, but it never leads to results. The process works exactly the other way around. When you discover something in yourself that you perceive as undesirable, there is only one way for you to act in harmony with the love within you, to accept and embrace it. You leave your expectations behind and let everything be. If that characteristic or pattern is in you, you simply let it be so. And then she goes on to say, love is not intended to change the world. Love gently flows and embraces. It embraces everything softly, without wanting to change anything. And herein lies the seeming paradox. This is exactly why things change, because everything is transformed softly into what it is called to be. Everything stems from love and returns to love, removing the unnecessary things that have accumulated on it. And that to me is just an example of just the loving and tender message, and also the practical application of it. That when we see something in ourselves that we don't like, we don't try to get rid of it. We embrace it. And love is the transformative energy that that embraces everything and transforms things without us needing to try to make things happen. And I'm curious for you, Marietta, how has your life been impacted by this relationship and by the practical guidance of Mary, and how she shows up in your daily life to instruct you or guide you?
Right. The passage which you read, it just reminded me one occasion when I was very sad, and Mother Mary came to me and she said, let's embrace this sadness together. And as she was there with me, I started to realize two powers in me. I felt, one side I felt the sadness in me, on the other side I felt the embrace of me. And as it went on for some minutes, then I felt a deep peace, because the embrace started to transform my sadness a little bit. And it can happen, of course, that there are some things which can remain in us for longer time. But when you feel these two powers at the same time, it changes everything, because it's just your experience is softer a little bit. So you don't suffer really. You realize that you are sad or you have a pain in your body, but you don't suffer because you feel the embrace or you feel the presence. And so she taught me a lot of things about this, how to handle the ways of my humanity. And, I'm just very spiritual minded. I have always been. And spirituality was very, very important to me from my early childhood. So I always said that it's more important than my humanity, and I just lived like that. And since Mother Mary came, she started to draw my attention that both needs to be in balance with each other, because our humanity is also very, very important and we have to take care of it. And she says it many times that just look how I embrace you, how I embrace your humanity, even your mistakes. When you have a mistake, then how she reacts on this, or how she embraces me. And then you can't do anything, but you do the same. So you must embrace your humanity in a way as it is. And if we do this, it's just so much easier to embrace other people like that, you know? It's
Mm.
just so much easier to accept how life it is. And yes, my everyday life, oh yes, it's just very, very different because just for example, earlier when I had to do my housework, I wanted to do it quickly just to have more time to read or whatever. And since Mother Mary is here, she accompanies me. And sometimes we talk in the meantime when I do my daily routine or my household or cooking or cleaning or whatever. And sometimes she draws my attention to something. So, for example, when I started to clean once, I remember then she said, "Okay, let's start this cleaning with a meditation, a tiny bit." And then I sat down, and she said that, "Okay, now let's imagine that this this room just symbolizes your thoughts, for example, your mind, yeah." And you would like to make an order in your mind just to get rid of all the thoughts which you don't need. So when you do the cleaning, the hoovering, and all the other, think it that this is your mind, and you try to eliminate all the thoughts you don't need and to cover everything with light. And when we do that, then we will cover your whole flat with light, and light and peace will radiate from everywhere, just as in your soul. So this was one example how she's here with me and how she accompanies me whatever I do.
And yeah, I think oftentimes when we devote ourselves to the spiritual life, we have the idea that it's all about transcending our humanity or escaping our humanity or,
Yes.
and but that's, for me, that's what it's all about, right? It's being human and knowing at the same time our divinity, and it's both. So
Yeah.
it's really
In,
beautiful.
in one of our books, Mother Mary, the main point was this in one of our books, just to see that how the humanity and the divinity in us are dancing with each other. She used this analog, the analog of the dance, and it goes through the whole book,
Mhm.
how our humanity and divinity are dancing with each other. And she said that when we when we become aware of our divinity, of who we are, then with this awareness, uh, we sanctify our humanity. She used this word, we sanctify our humanity. And mm, a lot of deep changes will start in us. So we can also realize that by opening ourselves to the divine messages and the divine connection, then our body starts to change. As you mentioned a few minutes ago, that for example, at the beginning, I couldn't stay longer in this high frequency, and now I can. Then I realized a lot of other changes in my body in connection with this. So, what Mother Mary said, that our humanity and our divinity are dancing with each other, and they influence each other, and it's just beautiful. So they are not separated from each other, but they are really one, because this is just the time of oneness and unity as well. And we will experience it on more levels, how oneness is manifested in our life.
Mhm. Yes, and this seems related to something that she just was recently talking with you about or conveying to you about the arising of the new heaven and the new earth, and I'm guessing that this is part of that, right? The
Yeah.
unification of our divinity and our humanity.
Right at the beginning, when we started to write the messages with Mother Mary, so very, very early, among the first messages, she said that a new earth and a new heaven is being born. And she just gave me a vision about that. a beautiful vision, and I could see the whole planet just being wrapped in light. And she said that the new humanity is being born, and the children who will be born nowadays or a bit later as well, they will have other characteristics, and they will remember, whether consciously or not, but they will remember who they are, and they will live like this, and everything will change from this. And I remember how enthusiastic I was right at the beginning, that, oh, that's wonderful that we have just arrived to this wonderful era when we can feel the power of unity in us and with other people, and all these wonderful world where we are going ahead. And when some people came and said that, well, I don't think so, just listen to the news, what's there. And then I said that this is only a tiny part which we can hear in the news, but the world is going in a good direction. Mother Mary said it's going to happen like this, and so I believe her. And we can see more and more examples for this and for the manifestation of oneness and unity, and it's just really wonderful.
Mm. Yes. As you were talking about that, Marietta, about our divinity and our humanity influencing each other. And I think, and same with new heaven and new earth. I mean, I think we can all understand that a new earth would be really helpful. That, you know, that it's time for, a new paradigm, a new way to be born on the planet. But do we, and I'm just saying this because it just occurred to me now, what does it mean that there's a new heaven? Because, I guess I've always thought, well, heaven is heaven, and heaven doesn't need to be new because it's already heaven.
Yes, I think only our perception will change
Mm.
how we think about heaven.
Yeah.
Because I remember just what I thought in my childhood what heaven was, and how I think it now. So it is just like I think we will experience a shift in our way of thinking.
Yes.
Then what heaven is, and then
Yes.
how we perceive it. And then the other thing that heaven is the state of consciousness, of love consciousness, for example, we can say this. And then heaven is not separated from the earth as we thought it earlier.
Right.
So they are just existing in each other somehow, if I
Yes.
express it well.
Yes. Yes. And that, as you say, our perception of heaven changes, as does our perception of earth. That we perceive a new earth. It's already here. It's already in us. It's already with us, and we begin to perceive it. And by perceiving it, we allow it to manifest more fully.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So tell us about well, you have continued to receive these messages. Just book number 1 has been published, but there are now 6. You're working on the 6th one, right?
Right.
Has she told you how many there are in total? Is it 6, or are there more that are still coming? Do you know?
There will be more, yes.
Okay.
There will be more.
So
And
that's,
we are writing, yes, we are still writing. Of course, it's just it depends on my life situation, how often we write. But we are close to the finishing of this 6th book. And, in parallel, we have some personal conversations with Mother Mary, which I also write down. So we do it together, these two ways, let me say this. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Tell us also about the Rose of Peace prayer.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yes. So the idea came to me 2 years ago. I was thinking that Our sweet Divine Mother has given to us so many messages and so many wonderful expressions of her love. And these are all like roses for us. And I thought that, oh, what if we give back something from this? Just I would like to cover the whole heaven with roses. I remember when I said it to her, and um, and I thought that we should start a prayer to her every day. Um, from two reasons. The first reason is just to express our deep love and to make our bond deeper and deeper every day. And the second reason was just praying for peace, because, Mother Mary is said to be the Queen of Peace. And then we would like to ask peace as spreading all over the world. And I thought it would be a good way for this. So, 2022, on 14th of March, I started this prayer, and I do it every evening at 6 o'clock, because this is the hour which is dedicated to Mother Mary. And I invited some people to this. At first, I just said it to my friends, to my closest ones, just who feels a call to join me with this prayer. Then I would be so happy. And now we have a Facebook and website as well, so you can find it there. How is this going on? And it's not important whether we use prayers, words or not, or we just make our connection deep, or we just place ourselves in her divine embrace. I say the chaplet because, I just love it, and it fills me with happiness. So every day, 6 o'clock, and it's very important that we can join in spirit with each other. We are all one heart and one mind. And when we do our prayers, then we can really feel that we are one heart together. And I just love this idea that it's at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and my 6 o'clock is different yours from your 6 o'clock, and I just love this idea that our prayers are flowing continuously to our Divine Mother. And this it can give us a lot of things. So it deepens our relationship with Mother Mary, and it deepens our relationship with each other, even though we don't meet in body, but only in spirit. But it means a lot. You can really feel that we are one heart with each other. So I would call anybody or invite anybody who feels a call to join to this prayer, to pray for the peace of the heart. And I would like to share something with you in connection with this, because yesterday when I was preparing for this interview, I was thinking about this prayer, and suddenly I found myself in a vision, and I saw the following, and it was really beautiful. I saw myself that there was a beautiful rose in my heart, and this rose was spinning all around. And as it was spinning, tiny seeds were flying all over from it, right? And Mother Mary said that these are the seeds of peace, and these seeds are just flying all over around me. And now she said, and look at your brothers and sisters who joined this prayer, not exactly this prayer, but who has a desire in their heart for the peace, for peace in any way. And she told me, just look at your brothers and sisters and look at her heart. They also have this beautiful rose in their hearts, which is spinning around and spreading these seeds all around them. And then more and more people, I realized, or I saw more and more people in my vision. And she said, now look at the common field of humanity, or the consciousness of humanity, and look how these seeds are going deeply into this field. And now I accelerate the time a little bit, Mother Mary said, and now look what will you see? And then I saw that from these seeds, beautiful, beautiful roses came out, and step by step, the whole planet was covered with roses. And it was just so beautiful.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yes, this is an analog for us to have to imagine and to have to place ourselves in this peace, which is really coming.
Mhm.
So she said that the time is accelerated now, and we will see it much sooner now. The consequences of all this, and the what we are working now, because we are all working on the same, that to to spread love, all around here, and peace and this. And we will see it soon, that more and more places, she said that more and more places and more people will be involved in this beautiful movement, just how to spread the peace and love all around us.
That's a
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful vision. Beautiful vision. And as you were preparing for this interview, also, she told you that her central message today, what did she tell you about that?
yeah. I asked Mother Mary this morning whether she has a very important and short message which I can share with you now. And she said a really very short, yes, obvious sentence, but if we repeat it more and more times, then we can understand how deep it is. You are love, and you are love. You are love, and you are love.
Mm. Which comes back to the locket that she gave you, right?
Yes,
That I
yes,
love you. You are loved.
yes, yes.
Well, I would love to read, speaking of love, I would love to read as a meditation. This is a message that came recently. Is this in the sixth book then? This passage,
Right,
it's called the Rose of My Love. Yeah.
right.
So I'm going to read this just as a meditation for all of us to just enter into and to take into our own hearts. So this is called the Rose of My Love. You are love, and love is all around you, my dear heart. You deeply absorb every drop and let all the beauty and love that you are flow out of you. Surrender to this simple miracle, and your body and soul will be filled with pure light. I am standing here in front of you. My being radiates light and love. See with your spiritual eyes how the golden light flows unstoppably from me in all directions. It fills the space around you, and you happily bathe in it. I love you so much. Now, out of all the love of my heart, I will form for you a snow-white rose that shines in golden light. Each petal is full of light and brilliance. The entire rose is made up of dense, open petals. In the center is a tiny, glowing heart that emits golden light and whose energy fills each petal of the rose. This rose was born from my love. It symbolizes my unfailing love for you, and it will be your wonderful helper. Each symbol is a gate that helps us enter the world that exists beyond the gate and is difficult to approach with words. It takes you to the mysteriously beautiful world of the heart. Now see me holding this rose in my hand. Become aware again that it was born of my love and can never wither. It shines endlessly on you. I hand you this rose and you hold it in your hands. This rose represents the love of my heart, a ray of my being, and it will always be yours. Feel the tender love, care, and beauty of being that you will always be reminded of. Let its power flow into your hands. Allow the subtle light energy behind the symbol to reveal itself to you. That energy, that ray of my being, the love of my heart that I want to transfer to you in this way is completely real, but you can feel it more clearly when we put it into shape. When you allow my thoughts to dwell within you, even if they may seem strange or unbelievable to you, a gate opens in you that leads you to the new world. You allow my words, as if they were tiny seeds, to remain in you and bring you fresh flowers. We are building the new world, my dear, and therefore you will encounter new things as we approach the familiar in a new way. You still hold the rose in your hands and smell it now. Its fabulous fragrance fills your entire being. You allow the reality behind the symbol to become part of your being. You deeply absorb the beauty and power of the rose. Your entire being is filled with the love of my heart. This love is what you are made of, where you came from, and where you are going back to. The love of my heart is the soft womb in which you grow. The love of my heart is the air without which you cannot exist. The love of my heart merges with the love of your heart and exists as one. Now you take the rose, symbol of my love, and hide it in your heart. You place your hand like a seal towards your heart. Your treasure is in your heart. All the love of my heart is in your heart. There is no difference between my love and your love, because there is only one love that flows in an infinite ray throughout the universe. My heart has become your heart. My love is yours, and your love for me is mine. Feel that the love of my heart is a part of your being. Put your hand on your heart again and feel it beating happily. See with your mind's eye how the rose shining in golden light dwells in the center of your heart and covers everything in you with light. Walk this path several times, my beauty, so that its message and power are revealed to you as fully as possible. With each journey, you get to know love, yourself and me, in a new depth. All our journeys cover your heart in golden light, and the wisdom of love gently transforms your experiences into itself. Everything becomes an experience of love within you. I am with you every moment. My love can never leave you. Feel, touch, and see. Such a beautiful message. So, Marietta, I thank you for being with me, having this conversation. And I thank you for your openness to Mother Mary and allowing her messages and words to flow through you into the world. It's a great gift.
Thank you, Patricia.
And many blessings on your continued communion with her and your work together.